it's something that I have not revisited for years. It's something that's very difficult for me to tell you now. I mean, after so many years, to have to talk about this is very difficult because it kind of changed who I was. The person I was then to the person I am now. Sorry.
It's okay, Yuri. Take your time. Take your time, Yuri. We're not in a hurry.
So you think after 8 years it wouldn't affect me so much.
You know, you're not the only one. There's so many people that have suffered exactly the same because of these guys. There's even the case of the girl that has taken her life. You know that, right?
Well, it's a thought that crossed my mind a couple of times. And for somebody to have to do that, you telling me about it makes me feel her pain, you know? So, I've shut out a lot of these memories. I've shut them out. I've closed it off. I never talk about it, you know? So for me to do this interview with you, that's why I had to think about it for so long, because I didn't want to be the way I am now. I wanted to be a bit stronger, but clearly it's a little more difficult than I thought. And they brought me outside, and I said, you know, where are you taking me? You know? And he says, come this way. And all of a sudden, I see all this Guàrdia Urbana van just parked right outside Bikini. And they walk and they tell me to go inside and sit down. So I sat down and I said, you know what? I'm bleeding out of my head. My hands are behind my back. I want to go to the hospital. Right? And I stood up. And he looked at me and says, what do you want to do? I said, I want to go to the hospital. And he threw me a punch to my face and hit me. And I sat back down. And I said, all I asked was, I'd like to go to the hospital. He says, where do you want to go? And he hit me again. I said, you know what? I said to myself, Yuri, sit down. Just don't say anything. You know? There were two officers there. I looked at them. They walked away behind the door. And nothing. That was it. They saw what happened, but nobody did anything. And then one of the uniformed officers, picks me up and says, we're going to the interrogation room. And I thought to myself, why do I need to be interrogated for a little fracas in a nightclub? Something's not right. Doesn't feel right. They come running across with the keys and they open it. And I walk up inside there, and there's all these guys. Bakari sitting on they got a desk, like a long desk.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bayona was standing up there, and as soon as I walked into the room, they started hitting me. I put my hands up because they had taken the cuffs off. As I walked in, they took the cuffs off and they started beating me. I just put my hands up.
How many of them?
There was about 7 people in the room. And he just started hitting me. And I was moving and he was swinging, and eventually he started kicking me. And I just went to the ground and just went into fetal position, and they started beating me. I was trying to protect my face, and eventually there was blood on the ground, and I got up, and then they started to ask me questions. And every time they asked me a question, they'd hit me, whether it be with a plastic bottle, whatever they could have found, they hit me with it. They were so calm about the whole situation. You know, the worst one was Bakari, actually, because he was just so calm about it. He was the one that actually asked if I like to play games, and he asked the other guys for a gun because he wanted to play Russian roulette. You know, he was so calm about it, right? When they burned me with cigarettes on my back, I think Bayona that had the cigarette in his mouth, and Bakari took it from him and burned me on my back, and I kind of pushed it off. The whole thing about it was what people need to know is that you had police officers, everybody sitting in the background, just watching these two guys have their way. And it was, to me, I was scared. I thought I was gonna die. I thought that was it for me. Yeah. When they went in the back and they told me, stop bleeding on the floor, and I started to cry, actually, and they started to mimic me and make fun of me and call me a monkey, right? And I'm looking at Bakari and I'm studying, why are you calling me a monkey? You're just like me, man. What makes you so much better than me? I've asked myself this question for many years. What makes him so much different to me? Is it because you weren't able to get your way? I don't understand it. To me, I can't understand why they had to take it to that extent that they brought a dirty mop from the back, clean the floor, and then they said, clean your face too. And they started wiping my face with this mop and pushing it in my face. It was degrading. At that point in time, you look at things like people getting beaten up, tortured in Iraq and etc. And you're like, what did I do to deserve all this treatment? To be honest, Javier, I want not to remember what happened in that room. I honestly try my best not to remember. I've really tried to shut it out of my life. There's certain things that I can't. For me, it was. I had decided to myself, I think I'm gonna die in this room, And as soon as I mentioned that I was a student, the room just got very silent. And they all started to look at each other. And they said, okay, and they told somebody to take me outside. And they took me outside, and there was at the end of the stairway was this desk and this chair. So I sat down in the chair, and there were the paramedics, 2 paramedics there. I looked at this paramedic, and he looked at me and says, "Oh, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with you." This is how I looked when this is how I looked 5 days after, almost 5 days. And I turned to this paramedic and I begged him. I said, please take me to the hospital, because if you put me back in that room, I'm going to die. You know? I said, just don't let them take me back in that room. And he turned to me and he says, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. And at that point in time, there's these two jeeps, the Guàrdia Urbana jeeps that come with all people, and they all walked past me, and they all looked at me. Everybody saw me walk straight past me into the room. And I was like, I thought I was going to die, because there's this paramedic telling me that I'm fine. I had just been almost killed in a room. And all these cops are passing in front of me, and nobody's stopping to help me. When they told me what was happening in Barcelona, and they told me about this case, I don't know the details of the case. I don't know much details about it. I haven't even seen your documentary, right? All I knew was I tried to stay as far away from getting to this point that I am now, literally crying and being upset because I don't like to be this way. But after a couple of days of prayer, I decided that this is what I need to do. I need to do the right thing. And I need to come and tell people how I feel and what I passed through. At times I said, 7 years of my life, what I could have done with 7 years of my life, being held back by this court case, what I could have done with those 7 years, I'll never know. But I'll tell you what I did, because you're telling me what I did. My case is now important for these people, and that's what I did for them. So I'm happy that this is happening. I'm happy that those 7 years of my life mean something to people in Barcelona, mean something to people in Catalunya. I'm glad. I'm glad that I didn't spend 7 years of my life fighting a lost cause for nothing to happen, for it to be just one of the books, close the file, it never happened. I'm glad that this case means something to people. I hope, even though I'm not speaking very clearly because I'm very emotional about it. I hope that what I've done will help you and help them, because you people have no idea what it is to be in that situation when you're falsely accused, you're beaten, you're tortured by police.